Welcome back to another episode of the ARCA Zest. Hello, welcome, and of course, that's ARCA Menard Series PR Director Charlie Kroll. We are going to the Monster Mile this weekend at Dover Motor Speedway. Before we do that, let's talk about these last two races. How exciting we're to see a double dose of Venturini.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome, Casey. I think it's the first time that's happened in the consolidated ARCA Menard Series platform where we've had the same team win two races in the same day. And Jesse Love winning at Talladega, and then Sean Hingarani going back to back there out in Kern County. Just great. I mean, I'm a huge Jesse Love fan. I'm very lucky to have been able to work those West races from the time he was a 15-year-old rookie until now, and watch him, grow into the 18-year-old young man. He's not a kid anymore. He's the 18-year-old young man that he is. I'm just really blown away by just the level of poise and maturity that he shows. And I think he's a great kid. He comes from a great family, and really happy to see him get that win on Saturday there at Talladega. And what a really competitive race we had there. We had those two incidents early in the day, and it kind of slowed things down a little bit there early. But, I think just overall was a very good, clean, competitive race. And, then you head out to Kern County for the nightcap. And, Sean, made a little mistake there on the initial start, got caught by just millimeters beating the pole sitter to the line, and had to make a pass through, and came from a lap down to win the race. And just good cars, good drivers. The Venturini team they are hitting on all 8 cylinders right now.
Yeah, for sure. And we won't see the West Series until June when they go to when they head road course racing at Portland for the next 2 races. Will be road course races for the ARCA Menard Series West. But
yeah, it's gonna be a while.
We're going to see a lot of the East Series though in the next few weeks. But we start here at one of the East Series traditional stops. Of course, that's Dover Motor Speedway, obviously or previously known as Dover International Speedway. What's it like going to the Monster Mile? I don't know who's more excited. You guys are Miles because he gets to eat race cars.
I think Miles is probably more excited. This is a tough racetrack. They don't call it the Monster for nothing. It is a very tough, demanding racetrack. And, the last thing we want to see with our 15-car field in teams that are already, budget strapped, we don't want to see them going through race cars, man. That's really, we want to get out of there with everybody in one piece, and, good, clean, safe race. And, that's our number one priority, Casey. And, it's a tough racetrack. It's important to be good there. Every other NASCAR touring series, runs there at some point or another. So this is a great place for these guys to come and learn. Looking at our entry list, we've got, some of the best names in our platform are on this entry list, and undoubtedly it's because they've got some desire to go and race at the upper levels. And if you're going to be good, in those levels, you got to be good at this level. So good to see. It's not quite maybe as deep as we would like it. 15 cars is what we had there last year. We still had a good race last year. So, I think we'll see a good race on Friday. We just need a little help from Mother Nature on that end.
Yeah, I know that. I know Mother Nature's weather forecast is not looking too good for this weekend, but we'll just have to see, and we'll have to play things out. So stay tuned to ARCA_racing. That's ARCA's Twitter account for all updates. So, coming into this weekend, 3 big this span of races. We're in a 22 race stretch starting from last week until when we get to Bristol to close out the East season. But we're going to see the East season for the next few weeks. We got this one, of course, the big ARCA test at Kansas coming up next week. And then, of course, we got the fairgrounds. And I know that you love talking about this one. And I know you're excited about this, and I am too. But Flat Rock's going to be coming up too.
Yeah, man, the Flat Rock race is one that we've had circle on the calendar all year long. The Dutch Boy 150 is going to be the first time the ARCA platform has been at Flat Rock since 2000. You know, we've got a lot invested in this one, man, and we're putting a lot of resources behind it. We hope we get a decent entry. We'd be happy with 18, 20 cars. I think would be really, really good for that race, and I think there's a chance we could get there. So yeah, it's going to be big. Going back to one of the original tracks on the ARCA Menard Series schedule way back in 1953. It's important for us. It's important for Ron. It's important for me as a race fan and someone who has grown up at Flat Rock Speedway. I want to have that place packed to the gills. I do, and I think we got a good shot. I do. We'll see what the weather's like on race day, but it's always good when you get to have these big touring series come in to these local racetracks. It's the one chance that those fans have to see the same cars that race at Daytona and Talladega and Michigan and Milwaukee and Bristol. And, so I hope they come out. Yeah, it's going to be big. William Sawalich has already filed the first entry. William won the Glass City 200 for the ARCA CRA Super Series last year. So he's familiar to some of our fans here in this area. And, we expect some interesting names on that entry list here in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, I think we're, from what I've heard, we might see some interesting names on there. So let's talk about this weekend at Dover. We have you said 15 cars, but there's some good cars in that field. William Sawalich, as you just mentioned, Luke Fenhaus, that 28 team has just been really, really competitive with Shane Huffman at the helm, and with Mark Webb owning the team. I know Lorna Neer's also a part of it as well. So that car is going to be pretty solid. It's going to be tough to beat William, but it looks like those two cars. You got 4 Venturini cars, then you got LeVar Scott as well. Yeah,
I think you're going to have a good 7 or 8 cars that are going to be able to contend for a top 5 finish. Of those 7 or 8 cars, who knows how many of them are going to be contending to win. I think you're going to have to beat the 18. That's just William. He's a hot shoe, man, and he's got a real good team behind him. And those cars have been pretty bulletproof here the last couple of years. And of course, Ty won this race. Ty Gibbs won this race a couple of years ago, and they've got a good notebook there. They've got a lot of experience at Dover, and despite Williams' age, I think he does. He's got a lot of real good experience behind him, and he's going to be tough. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I think the Venturini cars are going to be right in there as well. And I don't think you can look past Luke Fenhaus. I think he's going to be a real good contender too. Yeah, I forgot to also mention Landon Lewis will also be in this race. And I forgot to mention him because I just talked with him today. He'll be running for Bruce Cook. And I know that he and Sean Hingrani have really had a good battle out west. Yeah, we'll get that. The last 2 weeks they finished first and second. Yeah, and Landon's got to be tired of finishing second. He's finished second 3 times in a row out there. So we'll see how he does. It's the first time he's really ever ventured this far, east, in the ARCA platform. So we'll see how he does. Bruce, Cook builds real good, solid race cars. So I think Landon will be a contender. Yeah, it definitely is going to be fun out there at the Monster Mile. Of course, also next week's time, there will also be a test at Kansas. I think this is the first time that you guys have had a test at Kansas. I couldn't tell you if it's the first time or not. Certainly has been a while. Yeah, we like to move those around. Just gives teams the chance to build their notebooks, for other racetracks, and gives the drivers a chance to get experience at some of these other racetracks. We've had this at Charlotte the past few years, and the teams had kind of said, hey, we've got enough laps at Charlotte. Let's figure out another racetrack. So Kansas it is, and we'll unload there on Friday next week, and then get set for the race on Saturday. And I know that there's also the big traditional test. I know Poconos had a test out there for many, many years as well. So, well, we call them a pre-race practice now, but yeah, same thing. All right. That's going to do it for this week's show. Tune in next week when we'll talk all about Kansas.
We'll talk to, and we might even do it on location. You never know.
You never know.
All right. Talk to you later.
You got it, Casey.